Donna K and Blue Ridge, new one-time customer. Scope of work's going to be, backyard is going to be weeding, ripping some bigger weeds, some smaller weeds, trimming some tall grasses, a garden bed clean out, and then in the front it's going to be like a mulch bed cut out and mulch install, and then she's going to provide some plants. So starting in the backyard, so you can come in through that way, you can come in through this way, whatever. But so all these weeds, yank them out. All those vines, all this growth, yank it out. And then this weed growing here on the corner, yank it out. It's like her dog's area. She just wants the weeds gone. No spray, obviously, or anything over there. And then coming through here, so a lot of plants back here. I don't fully walk yet. This area looks decent, but if you see anything that looks like an obvious weed, you can yank it. The husband was really in charge of everything going on back here. He kind of knew what was up. He did pass away, so it's just her. So she's kind of like not totally sure what's going on completely. But you can see there's some weeds in here. You got a weed here. Like I said, a lot of plants. You see some clover weeds you can yank. All this, like the lavender, liriope, you can leave all that. These bush tail things, good. This big guy actually is a weed, so you can yank that right out. A couple small weeds in here. Don't see any, maybe one weed, but if there's other weeds in here at the time, you can yank them. And then just use your judgment for everything else as you go through it. All these guys are weeds, you can yank them. Obviously leave all that. When I say weeds, just like in the beds, basically weeds. This area we didn't talk about or go over to. I would just like string trim this stuff down, maybe yank that tall guy out. Trimming of the tall grasses. So these are like thick tall grasses, really thick. So they just want to cut the brown out. So the husband actually like started doing it but didn't finish. But they're tied up here, so you can I guess you could cut them down as low as you can, and then they should kind of come all together. But remove all the brown, leave the green. All this looks fine. This whole area where it's wood, everything in the wood ties, she said, get rid of. Back to like leave that tall grassy back there, but everything in here, she said, just rip it out. So I would yank these metal things out of here and then just clear this whole area, wreck house. If you want to probably pull that fence out. Said old vegetable gardens, not using them anymore, not going to use it, just bust it all down, bust it all out. There's a weed growing right here, this whole thing. It's like a little sneak attack weed. Yank that out. This one's already trimmed, so you don't got to worry about this one. It's trimmed for now anyway. Got some weeds in here if you can yank them out, string trim them, whatever. Most of this looks good. Most of this is all plant that's going to bloom. This looks good. This looks good. Leave that alone. Leave that alone. Same thing over here with the tall grasses, the brown. Cut them out. They're already kind of tied up. Leave the green. I would just take a string trimmer to this. Wouldn't really walk over here, but all this growth in the fence, and there's like a vine growing over there. Backstory too, she's looking to sell at some point in the fall. She just wants to get a good cleanup and then have us come back out in the fall and touch up stuff. So this vine, if you can yank it, all this stuff along the fence line, if you can kind of yank it out, clean it up. If you see any weeds in here, I don't really see a ton at the moment. Yank them out. I say all the growth under that bench, yank it out. Oh, there's going to be mulch back here actually. So this whole area, said all the weeds, all the growth, pull it out, cut it out, whatever. The leaves and debris, rake it out, clean it out. The stones you can just move somewhere. And then she wants brown mulch in this area right here. You have to kind of like create a bed for. So brown mulch there. Alright, moving to the front. Weeds look okay here. A couple weeds here. A couple weeds here. Yank that, leave the liriope. I want to see too many weeds here. Maybe a light blowout of the beds. Leave all this alone. Maybe yank that weed for her. You can leave this alone, and then this is going to be the area where we're cutting out a mulch bed. So she wants to start it like here. She doesn't like the square, as an old oil tank came out. She wants kind of like use just your best judgment, but a little bit of a wavy kind of loop, and then land it over there. Whatever you do, that it covers what's there, and then if you got to cut out more, that's fine too. I forgot to mention it too, but the bed that we're mulching over there, instead of a straight line, she's asked if we can just do like a wavy line as the edge instead of a straight line. And then we didn't actually walk over here, but I would include this in weeding. Some weeds here. These tall guys yank. Anything that's dead you want to pull out. Hostas look like they're kind of burning out. Not too bad, not too many weeds. Yeah, and that's it.